All right, let's try this now again because it was looking a little glitchy on my end. So I'm going to give it a second, see if anybody decides to join in. If they don't, that's cool. I'll just have these videos that are kind of floating in the sphere of my YouTube page, which is fine. Um, but if you are joining me and did not see the previous video, I was talking about how it's been a really big year. I moved to a different country. I moved back to Canada. I published my first book, which I was talking about how there's also this, which is a special edition of my book that came out this year, which was amazing. I got, I think, a correct diagnosis for the health stuff that I was going through. Um, so a big year. And honestly, like the reason I haven't been around was because I just felt like with everything else going on, that there wasn't enough energy left in the tank. I said it in the other video, but I'll say it again here. Like, if you've been around here for a little while, I probably look quite frailer than the last time you saw me. All related to the health issue that I've been dealing with, to which all I am going to say again, take care of your body, take care of your gut. It is a big thing. It is your brain, it is your energy, it is your life source. So take care of your gut. But I had in the midst of that, still a productive year. I finished my second book. I am in the midst of editing that book right now. I started way too many manuscripts that it was irresponsible of me to start that many manuscripts. But I really fell into a groove of writing. And I think in my second book, I really found my authorial voice. So that's exciting, which I'm sure will continue to adapt and change over time because those things should, like your craft, should continue to evolve and change and get better with each subsequent thing that you write. But I am planning on doing a top books of the year video with Josh. And if you've been around here for a little while, you know who Josh is. And so I'm excited to do that because we haven't done anything like that in a while. We also didn't do the books we got for Christmas video this year because honestly, like I wasn't gifted many books. Josh got quite a few books, which we'll talk about some of those. But I have been in a weird reading journey this year. I tried to be more intentional with my reading just because I didn't have the energy to commit to reading like I had in previous years with everything else going on. So I read about half the number of books I read from last year, this year. And that's still quite a few books. So I don't want to put numbers on anything. Like it's not something that needs to be labeled or lamented. But I have been trying to branch out a little bit with my reading and try a few different things. And I read a lot of romance books this year, which I wasn't necessarily anticipating that I would read as many as I did. But I ended the year in a place that I'm quite happy about, and it was different in that I read it might end up being my top book of the year. Like I really don't know. And that was a psychological fiction, which was not on my bingo card. I also have started finally reading Robin Hobb, which has only taken years and years and years. Did I start with Farseer trilogy? No. Did I start with Live Ship? Yes. Hi, Joanna. Happy to see you. I am hoping that you are having a wonderful holiday with your family. But I am super excited to be starting Robin Hobb. I am about 80 to 100 pages into Live Ship and super enjoying it so far. Am I anticipating that she's going to rip my heart out at some point and make me very emotionally devastated and distraught? Yes, I am. Am I simultaneously looking forward to it? Yes. I love good character work, and already within the first chapter of that book, I was very interested in one of the particular characters, Kenneth specifically. I messaged a couple of people afterwards who are big Hob fans. And I said, he's like C Glokta, which is perfect for me because Glokta is basically my favorite character of all time. So if I can get a C Glokta, that would be absolute perfection. I would be very, very thrilled with that. But moving these books behind me was an event this year as well. One of the things I can say to you wholeheartedly is packing sucks. Moving books also sucks. But I am very happy with my new library space. It goes up a little ways because I am on the floor. So we've got some different stuff going on here. But I'm really just pleased to finally be in a place where I'm hoping we will be for the next several years. We knew with our last home that it was not going to be a long-term thing. And there's something about knowing that you're in a place where you can start to put down roots if you're a social person, which I am. I am an ambivert by nature. I love to socialize with people, but I definitely do need time to recharge. So I am looking forward to being in a place where we can cultivate a community and hopefully find a bookish community where I now live. So that'll be exciting. I'm also closer to my best friends who are avid readers. So I am just genuinely happy to be back home. That for me is a big, big thing. Getting back to a place where I felt calm, relaxed, peaceful is fundamentally important for not only my physical health, but my mental health. I know a lot of people in the bookish community are wonderfully open about their mental health and here on YouTube. And I love that because it gives a voice to what so many of us are feeling and yet sometimes find it difficult to articulate, especially to those around us when we just don't have the words and you don't necessarily want to bum people out around you, but to know that you're not alone in that. And this year was a very hard mental health year, very, very difficult when you combine physical health and everything else into the mix of things. So being in a place now where I feel like I am starting to reconnect with who I am as a person and what I want my family to look like it's a really wonderful thing. So I am very much looking forward to that. I am hoping that I'm going to discover several new artists and authors next year. I read a few new authors to me this year, but this year for me mostly was a year of rereading. And it kind of ties back into what I was saying with the mental health in that I needed comfort. And books are such a wonderful thing in that they can provide that comfort for us and that reassurance and that knowing. It's almost like being reconnected with an old friend when you're rereading a book and you know the outcome, right? So you can still discover new wonderful things along the way, but simultaneously you know that it's not going to let you down in the end. So I had quite a bit of rereading this year and I loved it, but I am thinking I'll probably do more newer books next year. I'm sure there will still be a few authors that I'll reread. But what was also really fun about this year was reading new books from authors that I have already read, whose work that wasn't my favorite initially, but I loved their new stuff. Like this is why I feel like it's not there's certain authors that just aren't going to work for us, right? And I know I'm going to be that way for other people too, and that's totally fine. You're not going to jive with everybody, and you shouldn't jive with everybody. But it's interesting when you try an author and it doesn't necessarily work for you, and then you come back to them and you go, this one slaps. And then you make that connection and that just becomes an author for you. I think that's a really, really wonderful experience. So I definitely had a bit of that this year as well. But all in all, it has just been a year of flux, a year of transition, a year of learning, sometimes in really positive ways, sometimes in very difficult ways. A lot of days are still quite trying, but we get through them as best we can. And, on the days that are really, really hard, it's always nice to be able to curl up with a book. So I am going to leave it there for now, but I'm hoping to in the next few days. I don't know if it'll be a live or a pre-recorded video. I got rid of all of my video editing software because I was using Adobe subscriptions monthly, which I wasn't using. So I might learn iMovie again. It's been a hot 12 minutes since I've done that, or it might just be that we do a live because I can not edit a live and not have to worry about it. Besides, the lives with Josh are usually pretty fun. But that's it for me for now. I don't know if it'll be before the new year, before he and I jump on to talk about our top 5 books of the year. But if it isn't, I hope you have a wonderful finish to your year. Lord knows I hope that 2026 will be better for me and better for everyone around me. I wish all of us calm, just some calm and serenity for the new year and some grace, really. Just, I feel like gratitude and all that is fine, but I really do just wish for all of us to have some stability, some calm, and for everybody's nervous system to just be good. That's what my hope is for everybody in the new year. Hi, Derry. You and I will have to chat because I started Robin Hobb. All right, but that's it for me for now. I will be back, like I said, in a few days, and I hope you all take care, and I will see you all then. All right.